The Houston Astros have become the surprise story of this 2015 season. They currently sit atop the standings in the American League's Western Division, and their mix of youth, veterans, and strong pitching have them as one of the teams to beat in the American League. The Athletics season has been disappointing, but with 2 months to play, the A's face the Astros 10 more times and will have a say on Houston's postseason hopes. Tonight, the Astros come to the HOU at OAK and open up a 4-game set. It's the A's and the Astros, and it starts right now. Beautiful night for baseball at the HOU at OAK Coliseum. The first place Astros are in town, and tonight they will send the veteran right-hander Scott Feldman to the mound. He will be opposed by the A's rookie right-hander Aaron Brooks. So it is the first of a 4-game series here at the Coliseum. It's the Astros and the Athletics coming up on Comcast Sportsnet California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Eric Chavez. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Last time the A's saw the Astros was May 20th. Now, the Astros were very good back then, but they didn't have Carlos Correa, Eric. He is now in the lineup, just 20 years old, and this guy has a chance to be a superstar player. Yeah, this guy is the real deal. I mean, you talk to all the Astros people, they're raving about this guy. He's got power. He can play the shortstop position as good as anybody. They're making comparisons to a young Alex Rodriguez when he stepped in the league at 19, 20 years old. And this guy is going to be an all-star in this league for a long time. And he's certainly an all-around player. You see the offense, you see the speed, you see the defense, so he indeed can do it all. Certainly a reason why he was the #1 draft pick a couple years ago. Now, for the Athletics, Aaron Brooks will start tonight, his second start with the A's. His last start, he got his first major league win, and he was very impressive. You liked his changeup.
I did, and I liked his composure. He looked like he belonged on the mound. He got ahead with his fastball. He spotted that fastball, mixing the curveball and slider, and then he was able to put away the hitters with that nasty changeup. And it's a changeup, but it actually comes out like a split finger.
And again, first major league win in his last start for Aaron Brooks. For the Astros, again, the veteran right-hander Scott Feldman will take them out. It is also Bark at the Park night here at the HOU at OAK Coliseum. We've been told there's over 900 dogs in the ballpark tonight. It should be a fun night of baseball.
Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Stephen Voda and the Athletics getting set for the first of a 4-game series against the first-place Houston Astros. So it should be a good weekend of baseball here at the Coliseum. Game time weather for tonight is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 69 degrees, 15-mile-per-hour breeze, and very comfortable conditions as usual here in Oakland. So the Astros in town, and they're having quite a season, and they're hoping for big things the final 2 months, and this is their lineup. Jose Altuve leads things off. The new guy is Carlos Gomez in center, and the youngster Carlos Correa at short. Jed Lowry is back in the lineup. He's at third. Colby Rasmus, Evan Gattis, Luis Valbuena, Jason Castro, Jake Marisnick round out the Astros lineup.
And on the mound for the A's, newly acquired Aaron Brooks came over in the Kansas City transaction with Ben Zobrist. In his last outing, he was very good against Cleveland. He went 7 innings, 5 hits, and only given up 1 earned run. He had 0 walks and 5 Ks, and his changeup was really dominant in that game. So let's see if he can have a repeat performance.
Defensively behind Brooks tonight, the A's will have Coco Crispin left, Billy Burns in center, Josh Reddick in right, Brett Laurie at third, Marcus Semien is the shortstop, and then on the right side, Eric Sogard and Ike Davis with Stephen Vogt doing the catching. So Brooks finishes up his warm-up tosses. The A's coming off losing 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. The Astros are coming off being swept in Texas. So the Astros not happy with that. They'll try to bounce back. They have a 2-game lead over the Angels in the AL West. So Brooks is ready, and so are we. Game 1 of the series. There's Aaron Brooks' mother. She had a lot of fun last Saturday when he picked up his first major league win. I think she enjoyed it as much as he did. First pitch of the ball game is a fastball in for a strike.
First pitch, 7-0.
So Altuve hitting .294 with 9 home runs and 48 RBIs. Another fine season for Jose Altuve. He's got 21 doubles. He's got 28 stolen bases. And a tough out. Defense straight up in the infield, shifted toward right in the outfield. And Altuve on 3 pitches. Strikes out. He chased one off the plate, and that's out number 1 here in the first.
Yeah, and Aaron showing Altuve his full repertoire: fastball, changeup, and a slider out of the zone, and Altuve can't lay off of it. And he's been really aggressive, kind of swinging out of the zone about the last week or so. So see if the A's can take advantage of that.
So with 1 out, Carlos Gomez steps in. First look at Gomez in an Astros uniform, and he rips one down the left field line, but foul. Nice play down there in deep foul territory. 265, 9 homers, 47 RBIs for Gomez. Most of the year with the Brewers. One of the bigger names moved at the trade deadline from the Brewers to the Astros.
Very good player.
Yep.
Plays the game hard.
And he bunts, and he's fast, and the throw is not even going to be made, and Carlos Gomez has an infield hit. He is, I would say, he's one of the fastest players in all of baseball.
Yeah, and he has high energy to go along with it too. So he can go get him in center, he can lay down a bunt, and he can hit it out of the ballpark. He's a very good player.
And he plays with a lot of flair. Rubs some people the wrong way, but from what his teammates say, he's a very good guy. So sometimes you just Got to understand that that's the way the young man plays.
Yeah, and as a teammate, you got to love it when the guy brings energy every single day. It really can pick up a ball club.
Here is Carlos Correa. It's our first look at him. He was not with the big league team when the A's and Astros last played in the middle of May, but what a start to his career. 286, 13 homers, 34 RBIs, and he has done all that in 50 games. Less than 200 at bats.
Yeah, some of the numbers he's putting up are, as we call them, Nintendo numbers.
A.J. Hinch in his third season as a major league manager, but his first with the Astros. Took over at the right time.
He did. Got the right players. You need those. You need the horses.
See, when you have a terrific minor league system, Astros have that, and when those guys are just getting to the big leagues, that's a good time to take over.
Well, yeah, that's what you have to do, though. When your team finishes in the cellar year after year, you got to draft well,
and they have.
So
it looks like they have anyway.
They definitely got it right with some of these players, and they have some more coming too.
So 0-2 as Correa gets the new bat.
Good for the city of Houston. I mean, good baseball town.
Two. Interesting note on Carlos Correa. Most home runs in first 50 career games. Jose Abreu did that last year. 17 in his first 50 games. Kevin Gaddis is on there. Gaddis in this Astros lineup.
Most of those guys play power positions, though. He plays in the middle of the diamond, putting up those type of numbers. So, you know, they do talk about him, comparing him to Alex Rodriguez when he came through. And you can see the similarities. Both very tall, slender, good arms, 5'2" athletes.
And that one's looped into left field, and that's a base hit. And Gomez is going to try for third, and he is going to make it.
That's that energy we're talking about. Pick up a ball club, and you got the two-strike approach by Correa, cutting down his swing, getting jammed a little bit, and Carlos got a good read off of first base. Looked like Aaron went with a sinker in on his hands. It was a good pitch. But from what I hear from the Astros, is his two-strike approach is the best on the team. So for a guy who's 20 years old, he's pretty polished already. And Gomez, obviously in the scouting report, they went over the outfielder's arms, and knowing Coco doesn't have the strongest of arm, and very good energy sliding in the third.
Tell you, even with the scouting report on Coco and the fact that he does not have a strong arm, there's still very few players who would have tried that.
Right. Right. And that was credit to the jump that he got. Right away he was off and knew that ball was going to be down, and he committed to getting the third.
So first and third, one out for Jed Lowry. Lowry back from the disabled list. And a torn ligament in his right thumb. And he missed a lot of time. That injury happened on April 28th. He's been out since then. Umpires: Guccione, Blazer, Nelson, Hoberg.
Guccione, one of the good guys in the game. Umpires.
So 1-1 the count to Jed Lowry. And that one's drilled right center. Reddick on the move. He's going to get there. Makes the catch. Gomez hustling home, slides in, and the Astros lead 1-0. And well, you got to give Carlos Gomez credit there, as going first to third, the big play in the inning to help the Astros get a run. So Lowry picks up his 12th RBI of the year.
Yeah, just a good at bat. Looks like a fastball down, and
right fielder
was able to dunk it in the right field there, and there was no chance Josh was going to get Gomez. But yeah, hustling run right there by the Astros. They can beat you many ways.
Well, collision there with cutoff man Ike Davis in the umpire. Exmo, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. That's our first time that we've used Exmo on an umpire first baseman collision this year. This doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
So Colby Rasmus steps in, hitting in the 5th spot. 13 home runs, 38 RBIs. Rasmus bunts, foul tip, strike, and the count 0-1. So the Astros jump out to an early 1-0 lead against Aaron Brooks.
A little odd that Rasmus would bunt right there. Brett was in on the bag, and 2 outs. Left-hander facing a righty. Go ahead and take a swing. I mean, these guys hit the ball out of the ballpark, and he's one of the guys that can go deep on you. So I'd like to see him swing the bat.
Astros lead the American League in home runs hit, 152 on the season. As we've said, they're an interesting team. They're 3rd in the league in runs scored. They hit the home runs. They're 1st in stolen bases. They're also 1st in strikeouts. So they strike out a lot, which they've done that for 4 straight years. But they hit the ball to the ballpark big time, and they got a lot of team speed, and that helps them. And we've seen it here in the 1st inning.
Yeah, I think you see that a lot, though, with teams that hit the ball out of the ballpark. They tend to strike out a little bit more, but this is definitely a good team. I mean, they got speed, defense, they got some arms, they got some starters.
Close play.
Yeah, and he was going there. He was leaning.
Correa is 8 for 9 in stolen base attempts. So another big part. He's got a huge lead. And that one's hit high in the air. Playable for Coco Crisp. He's got it side retired. A run on a couple of hits and a sacrifice fly for the Astros. So Houston leads 1-0 after half an inning. Reddick, Butler, Volt, Laurie, Davis, Simeon, and Sogard.
And for the Astros, the veteran Scott Feldman, 32 years of age, making his 4th start since coming off the DL. He's recovering from a right meniscus knee surgery. He's got a fastball cutter combo, curveball, and a changeup, and he's going to throw a whole lot of cutters and a whole lot of curveballs. The A's need to jump on him early. He's trouble in the 1st inning, giving up 11 earned runs in 13 innings pitched.
Defensively for the Astros, good outfield. Marisnik, Gomez, and Rasmus. And then on the infield, Lowry, Correa, Altuve, Valbuena sliding over to first base now, and Castro's a good catcher. So Billy Burns steps in. Bark in the Park night at the ballpark. Out in the outfield, 2nd level, that's where the Dogs are at. 900 dogs in the ballpark. That's a pretty good turnout. Burns, shallow left, and a terrific play by Jake Marisnick. He was playing about as shallow as we've seen a left fielder play, and he's a very good outfielder, and he made a very nice play.
Yeah, and they are very athletic in the outfield. I mean, Marisnick's a center fielder by trade. You got Gomez in center, and Colby in right, so they can go get him. Yeah, and obviously they did their homework on where Billy hits the ball, and he's playing him right in the right spot.
Eric, we should point out that the Astros are playing without George Springer, another very fine young player. Springer, who's a right fielder, has a fractured right wrist. He's been out since the first week of July. He will be back this year. Astros are, there he is. Astros are hoping to get him back at some point, maybe early September, but you see he's still got the brace on the wrist. But that's a pretty good player to be able to put back into your lineup sometime in September when you know that you're going to be in the middle of the pennant race.
Yeah, and that was the reason why they had to go out and even get Carlos Gomez.
Right.
And that their Houston Astros know they have a window right now to win, and they're definitely going for it.
Boy, you put Springer back in that outfield with Gomez, and whether it's Marisnick or Rasmus, whoever you may be playing.
Yeah,
that'll be a nice addition to the Astros because Springer is very good.
Yeah, you end up platooning Marisnick and Rasmus.
Coco takes inside, 3-1. Reddick to follow here in the bottom of the first inning. And that one hit high in the air, but playable for Cole Rasmus, who shades near the wall, and he's got it. So that's the second out. This is the injury to Springer. Hit by pitch, and it did not look good from the get-go. The right wrist.
Yeah, that looks very painful. A very good player. They definitely miss him. They miss his leadership, his clubhouse leadership, and obviously his performance on the field. So it'll be a shot in the arm when they get him back.
So 2 away for Reddick. First pitch from Feldman is in for a strike. Reddick 282. Excuse me, Eric.
Sorry. I was going to say the Kansas City Royals aren't afraid to go up and in, are they?
No, they're not. And they're not making a whole lot of friends this year.
No.
They do have the best record in the American League, so they deserve credit for that. One and one to Reddick. 13 home runs, 58 RBIs. Toward left field, Marisnick back, stops, makes the catch. Side retired, and Scott Feldman has a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the first inning. It'll be Gaddis, Valbuena, and then the catcher Jason Castro. Oh, the old Astros unis from the 70s and 80s. As we like to say, they're so bad they're good.
There definitely was some interesting unis from back in that time.
Those are on the top of the list. There was somebody out there who said,
this looks good.
This looks good. This is what we're going with.
Let's find that guy.
1-1 to Gaddis. Nolan Ryan, his number's retired. Minute Maid Park. Breaking ball and a good one. Gaddis may not have agreed with the strike call. He was chatting with Chris Guccione. Gaddis got off to such a slow start, but he's made up for it. He now has 17 home runs and 60 RBIs.
Yeah, I think we got him locked in when he came into town here last time. He ended up hitting that ball about 2 feet over his head from Clipper. Yep. Helped him win the game. Got hot after that.
That one foul. Among designated hitters this year, he's got the 4th most RBIs.
Even with the slow start.
So he was brought here to do one thing: hit in the middle of the Astros lineup. They needed somebody to do that. After that very slow start, he's done a good job. Laurie has it, flips it across, and that's out number 1. Here's our true story, brought to you by McDonald's. It has to do with the rise of the Houston Astros. Talked about the home runs, and that's what they do. The pitching's been very good. They added Casimir. The bullpen, they made major changes in the offseason. That has improved a great deal. Last time this team made the playoffs was 2005 when they went to the World Series and lost to the White Sox. But it has been quite a season for the Astros. And
no,
there's a shot to right field, and that's a hit for Valbuena.
No, there's a big 2 months left in the season, and there's been a lot of young teams that have come out early and played really well and kind of fallen off towards the end. So we'll see if they can hold it together here.
Well, they have come a long ways. Looking back at their recent seasons, in 2011, this team lost 106 games. In 2012, they lost 107. In 2013, they lost 111 games. That was the worst record in franchise history. But then last year, you could see it start to turn a little bit. They won 70 games. They had a 19-game improvement. Still not a very good record, but you could definitely see the improvement, and it has gone right into this year. And now, early August, they have a 2-game lead over the Angels in the AL West, and I think a lot of people around baseball have been waiting for the Astros to slide, and they haven't.
Yeah,
they've been pretty consistent. Sogard flips wide to second, and it rolls into shallow center field, and that's going to allow Valbuena to go to third. So a costly miscue by Eric Sogard, and it has been a long time since the last error. You got to go all the way back to May 8th. And Sogard has made an error as a second baseman.
Yeah, I think if he would do that over again, that's just too far to flip. And I think he still had 2 in his mind. I don't think as soon as that ball was hit, I don't think it was a double play ball, but I think he'd like to set his feet, turn, and give a good throw and just get the 1 out at second base. But it's kind of what's killed the A's all season long. So it's one thing moving into next year, and at the end of the year, they'd like to clean up the defense a little bit.
So 52-game errorless streak comes to an end for Eric Sogard, and you just do not see him make mistakes like that hardly ever.
Yeah, that's one he wants back too. I mean, there's some errors you can live with, and I think he definitely knows that the flip was not the right play on that one.
Well,
but
it's always frustrating when there's an easy out there,
right,
and then you don't get anything.
Well, make sure it won. That's the rule. But Eric's played really good defense, so it's going to happen.
There's Marisnik, who takes a bit outside. So first and third, 1 out. Astros hit first and third in the first inning and got a sacrifice fly. So Valbuena's at third, Castro at first. Foul straight back. Marisnick got a fastball out over the plate. Marisnick hitting .229 with 5 home runs.
We'll see if Aaron can keep his composure here, pitch around in air, make a pitch, get a ground ball double play, and get out of the inning. But Marisnick's going to be a hard guy to double up. He can get down the line pretty good.
Another guy with very good speed. Oh, blocks it. It trickles away from him, but he's able to grab it. Castro stays at first. Infield is not all the way in, maybe halfway. They'd like to. It's not even halfway, really. The middle infielders move back a little bit now. Sogard quite a ways back. It's a hard hit ball. Turn a double play.
Yeah, we're talking about the Astros finishing off the next 2 months of the season, and it's very rare for a young team to get out of the box really good first half and finish it the whole way through. You know they're going to go through some struggles at some point, and you know real baseball is played in the last 2 months of the season, and even as you get to the last game of the season, and it's really going to show what type of team they are. And it's tough for the first time around. You got to learn how to win. You got a lot of young guys, and you know this is their first time through the league and staying in new hotels and stuff like that. So the games get tougher as it gets towards the end of the season here. But they've got the horses. They got the talent to do it.
2-pitch. Strike 3 call. Big strikeout for Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, and that's the one area you'd like to see them improve a little bit is the strikeouts. And you know you want to be able to put some pressure on the defense, put the ball in play, and I think Gooch giving Aaron a favorable call right there. So
HOU AT OAK.
Tough pitch.
I just thought, Eric, if there's a guy in scoring position and it's close, you got to swing at it.
Well, don't leave it up to the umpire.
That's right.
I don't care if there's nobody on base.
That's true.
Don't leave it up to him.
So here's Altuve, who struck out to lead off the game. He's up there hacking. You mentioned Altuve struggling a little bit lately. He's 2 for his last 15. He's extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
He will chase.
Yeah, he looks like he wants to pull everything right now. He's kind of pulling off the ball and kind of unsure of himself. I mean, if this guy can hit, he should have a little bit more confidence and take a few more balls to right field.
And he'll drive you crazy though, because he'll hit a pitch that's a foot outside and line it to right field for a base hit.
Yeah, he can hit. And he hits very well against the A's with 340 clip. So let's see if they keep him that day in this series.
It is off the plate. Not just the A's. He torments most of the West. A .330 average against the Angels in his career. .323 against the Mariners. Pretty good against the Rangers. Against the A's, .340. One-two pitch down and in.
Yeah, and this whole Astros team last time they came into town, they weren't offensively, they were struggling. And they kind of got hot here and had to swept the A's here. Bats got rolling. You saw a lot of the hitters taking the opposite field approach, and I think when you're struggling, that's what you got to do.
Altuve stays alive.
Yeah, and they look like they're ready for that changeup tonight. Obviously they went and they watched the video, and video can't always do pitches justice, but I think they've done some homework. They know what his go-to pitch is, and Altuve just kind of fighting it off there, staying alive.
2. And he taps that one to Ike Davis, who flips it backhand on a close play, and they got it. Nice play by Ike Davis to keep the Astros off the board in the top of the second. Bottom of the second coming up. Astros 1, A's nothing. Brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dinner Roaring Camp style with sizzling steaks, moonlit steam train ride, and singing around the campfire. 1-0, the Astros lead. It's the bottom of the second inning. Butler, Vogt, and Laurie. Here's our good friend.
We got one of those.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. A lot of slobber, loud noises at night. I think we got one of everything in my house.
Yeah, it's the zoo.
Oh man,
Chavez Zoo.
Goats, cats, chickens, you name it. Hawks, coyotes.
Check this out.
Got the Michael Jordan going.
Where would we be without Expo? Strike to Butler, 1-2. Billy Butler hitting .245 with 9 home runs, 47 RBIs. Lots of at-bats against Scott Feldman. No surprise there. Feldman, his 9th year in the big leagues. Cap to short. As Correa has it. Across to first. 1 out here in the second inning. That's the Stephen Vogt referee dog. Saw him earlier. Or if you prefer to go referee, which I didn't really want to say that, but I felt like I had to.
There's some very creative people.
Referee.
Very creative.
You say weird things on Bark in the Park night. You say things that you wouldn't say other nights. The Dogs were allowed to walk out on the warning track in the outfield before the game. They went from stairway to stairway. Right field, walk to left field. There was a fence, obviously along the grass. You don't want them sneaking onto the grass. So 0-2 to Stephen Vogt. That dog looks fast. Got the sweet ice cream helmet on. One and two to vote. 260 for Steven with 14 home runs, 59 RBI. Vogt was 2 for 10 in that series against the Orioles. Inside, almost hit him.
I was at home watching that Orioles series, and Chris Davis has some pop, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Good.
Doesn't even look like he's really swinging hard, but he's so strong. Hit foul down the left field line and into the first row seats.
You know, Chris had an off year last year and really had a bounce back season this year, and I heard they brought back an old hitting coach that got him locked in a few years back, and I think it's paid off.
And it's going to pay off for Chris Davis too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's a free agent. In the dirt, and now full count.
Yeah, timing is everything, you know, free agent years and stuff like that. And you know, you look at Ian Desmond over in Washington, and he's really had a down year, and you know, and he's kind of rejected some money. So
Belted to center. Gomez going back. He's at the wall, and that baby's gone. Steven Vogt goes to the big part of the yard to tie this game up at 1.
that was impressive. I mean, right as he hit it, the sound was so beautiful off the bat. To go deep center field here in Oakland at nighttime, you got to get it good.
And you got to go back to June 19th. It's the last home run for Steven Vogt, so that has to feel good.
Got that monkey off his back.
So give him 60 RBIs, and we're tied. Here's Laurie. First pitch in for a strike. For Feldman, that's the 10th home run he has allowed this year in 81 innings. Feldman is a Bay Area guy. Grew up in the peninsula. Burlingame High School, College of San Mateo. So as always, I'm sure he has plenty of family and friends here tonight. He's pitched a lot against the A's in his career. Chop toward Lowry, who fires across. So Lowry retires Laurie for the second out.
Yeah, it looks like a cutter right over the middle of the plate, and Steven didn't miss it, stayed on it. Hit it dead center. Put the barrel on the ball. Good little load, little leg kick. Meet the ball out front. Barrel back. See you later. Hopefully a sign of things to come from Steven.
That ball looks like that ball carried pretty well too, which doesn't always happen here at night.
Yeah, as soon as he hit it though, you could tell it was gone. Just by the sound. Such a good sound when that ball hits the wood like that, and you know it's gone.
Numbers here at the Coliseum for Feldman, not good. That's inside. This is his 21st start against the Athletics in his career.
Yeah, it's not always easy coming home and pitching in front of your hometown fans and family, and got to leave a lot of tickets, and it can be kind of distracting at times.
For Feldman, it's the second of a 3-year deal. Signed a 3-year contract with the Astros. got a little bit of rain actually coming down, and the crowd is cheering.
Oh, man.
Only in California, right? Just a little bit of rain. Not a lot. But definitely worth a golf clap. Davis lays off the breaking ball, and the count is 2-2.
Yeah, that was definitely a big change for me, coming, obviously playing here in California all those years and then going to the East Coast. There was one year, I think we had 33 to 35 rain delays. Sure. I mean, I was beside myself. Never seen so much rain in my life.
It's a shot into the glove of the third baseman. Lowry, side, retired. Home run for Stephen Vogt. His 15th of the year, and it was a long one. So we're all tied 1-1 after 2. One, top of the third. Aaron Brooks will face Carlos Gomez, Carlos Correa, Jed Lowry. So 2, 3, and 4. Gomez had a bunt single and scored a run. Showed off his speed big time in the first inning. And first strike. Tapped foul. A couple of the big names that were moved. Troy Tulowitzki, maybe the biggest surprise trade. Tulowitzki going to the Blue Jays. Carlos Gomez now with the Astros. Yoenis Cespedes ends up in New York, and all of a sudden the Mets are the talk of baseball. Mets have won 6 in a row. So Cespedes getting there just about the right time.
Yeah, and
these are some of the biggest position players moved.
Yeah, and he's really ignited that offense. They're scoring runs now, and they've, offensively they were struggling a little bit. Dude is starting to get hot. But you had a big bat like that, a proven run producer. I think it just picks up everybody's game, and they got the starting pitching that's lights out. So if they can score some runs, they're going to be tough to beat the rest of the way out.
Good pitch right on the outside corner, and Gomez is called out on strikes.
Yeah, it looks like Aaron goes with the fastball away, kind of comes back at the very last part of the plate, and very good pitch. Gomez looking for something else.
Pretty good pitch, it looked like. Here's Correa. Of course, the Astros also made the trade for Scott Kazmir. And in that Carlos Gomez trade, they also got a starting pitcher by the name of Mike Fears from the Brewers, who's a hard-throwing right-hander.
Very good
right-hander. He's going to pitch on Sunday.
Yeah, very good. Good fastball, good curveball. Kind of a funky delivery, arm action.
That's him on the left. So they really added 2 pieces to their rotation. And it's interesting, you get Gomez, but you know, a month and a half ago you called up this young man, so you have really changed your team significantly since, you know, first month, 2 months of the season.
Yeah, it's, you know, I like them going for it though, because you know, I think a lot of people thought they were another year or 2 away from competing, and you know, they feel like they can win this West, and the Angels aren't going anywhere. It's going to be a tough next 2 months. The Angels know how to win. They're a proven veteran team that has done it before, so they're going to have to prove to the league that they can do it.
But even going back to last year, all the changes they made in this offseason, you know, with Lowry and Gaddis and Rasmus, Neshek and Gregerson, I mean, they really changed a lot in the offseason. So.
Right, and I think you got to give credit to the young guys, because they feel like this is a group of guys that is ready to compete at this level and win right now, and they went out and solidified the bullpen, and obviously adding Kazmir and Fires, and see what they can do.
So Coco makes the play on Carlos Correa, 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, as Aaron Brooks goes for the shutdown inning.
Number 8, Jed Lowry.
And that'll bring up Jed Lowry. Lowry signing a 3-year, $23 million contract as a free agent to come to Houston. So a nice deal for him. Where he was with Houston in 2012. And then was traded to the A's, played 2 years with the A's, and then became a free agent.
Yeah, very, very good player.
He drives this one left field. Coco going back near the wall. Coco leaps up against the wall, makes the catch. Nice play by Coco Crisp, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Aaron Brooks. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. It'll be Simeon, Sogard, and Burns. It's a 1-1 game. So they're all behaving so far. No reports on any dog misbehavior. Simeon to lead it off, hitting .249, 10 home runs and 28 RBIs. 2 of his 10 home runs have come against the Astros this year. Breaking ball is outside, 1-1 to count. Feldman has always been and still is a guy who throws a lot of breaking balls. Another one, it's looped into center. Gomez coming in, and he'll stop, make the catch, fire it back in, and let you know that there's 1 out.
The A's and PG&E have partnered with the Good Tidings Foundation to refurbish 2 sports fields for the 2015 baseball and softball season. Fields at Hayward High School and San Lorenzo Little League Complex were refurbished as part of the Energize Your Field program presented by PG&E. To nominate your field to be refurbished, go to athletics.com/energize your field. Energize your field with the A's, the Good Tidings Foundation, and PG&E.
So here's Sogard. Sogard hitting in the 9th spot. 247, 23 RBIs. Slaps one, left center field, and that's going to go past Marisnick, who again was playing in unbelievably shallow. And Sogard's going to have a double. You have to see where he was playing. It was unbelievable. The ball just shot past him, and he had no chance.
Yeah, and he was in over towards the line, too, and it paid off with Billy. He was able to come in and make a diving play, but this one was hitting the gap pretty good. And it kind of burned the Houston Astros right there, and the A's got someone in scoring position.
So are you of the belief that it's still better to have your outfielders play shallow than deep, or not necessarily?
That's a tough
if
one.
you had if your outfit had to play one way or the other, would you rather have them play shallow?
Well, it depends. It depends on the player too.
No, I understand, but I guess in a case like, I think in a case like a Sogard or a Burns, I think you're better off playing more shallow.
Yes. Yes.
Than even where it's maybe too shallow. You know what I mean? Because I just don't think it's going to happen.
Take
that
it away.
often.
Yeah, and Eric doesn't go to the opposite field all that much. He's a pretty good inside hitter, pull hitter.
And that one hooked down the right field line, but just foul. Marisnick is not changing his style for Burns.
But I know the Astros are huge on analytics, so you know, definitely with the hit charts and the spray charts, they've got him playing exactly where they want him to play. So, you know, I think as a pitcher, it could be frustrating at times when you see the left fielder going towards the gap. But you know, they took away that first inning single by Billy, so they're 1 for 1, I guess.
Yep. 0-2 to Burns. Blocked nicely by Castro. But I think that's an interesting point. It worked on Burns in the first inning, but it probably cost them 90 feet on Sogard's ball. I think Sogard's ball was going to be a hit.
That was going to be a single, yeah.
But it would have been a single if you were maybe playing a little bit more conventional. But Marisnick playing extremely shallow. They shot right past him. Carlos Gomez in center field. Now, I would not say he's necessarily playing real shallow. Playing more of a normal set.
Yeah, I think too, as a player, you got to know what you do well. You know, there's so many times where I like to play down the third base line and kind of shade the pool a little bit because I felt so much better going to my left. I could completely eliminate any ball to my right. So anything I was thinking first step was to my left. And I knew if the ball was hit down the line, I was a step and a dive away from it. And it helped me have more range because I was anticipating that ball to my left side.
Burns takes low. Yeah, I can't believe a third baseman is ever that thrilled to have to go behind the bag and make a play. I mean, that's a long throw.
Yeah.
On a backhand.
Yeah, and you know what? In the pitchers that we were rolling out there, I always felt comfortable taking away a double, because if somebody got on first base, it kind of gave them the opportunity to get the ground ball double play, sure, and the runner wasn't in scoring position. So that was kind of my philosophy on it.
Foul territory. Marisnick coming in. He's going to settle underneath it. He's got it. So Burns is retired for the second out on the pop-up in foul territory. So that'll bring up Coco, trying to get a 2-out hit, give the A's the lead here in the third.
Number 4, Coco.
It's good to see Coco back. Just need to start to. We need to get him hot.
Third start since coming off the disabled list. Seven for 21 against Scott Feldman in his career. That curveball, and it's low. Really doesn't matter what the count is. Feldman will throw that curve at any time.
Yeah, as a hitter, you know you're either getting the cutter or the curveball, and that curveball is real slow. It's a big 12-6 break. Feels like it never gets there as a hitter. So, you know, usually his outing goes with how that curveball goes. If he can get it over for a strike and it's a good one, he's usually going to have a pretty good outing that day.
Good pitch there. Cut fastball. There's your breakdown. Loves the cutter. He tries to sink that fastball a little bit, and then the curve. Tapped foul. Another breaking ball. So if you're facing this guy, Eric, I mean, he's been around a long time, so he's not a secret here. Do you look curveball, or is just looking curveball not something you should do?
You know, sitting off speed sometimes for me was tough. I mean, because you don't want to hit the good one. And sometimes when you're looking for a guy's good pitch, his curveball's a good one, and you see it out of his hand, you wanted to go get it, and maybe it was out of the zone.
Sure.
You know, you want to hit the hanging breaking balls, and you really don't have to look for those. You know, when I faced Scotty, I knew he was coming in, cutter in on my hand, so I was looking in off of him.
Oh, that's interesting. So just because you guessed right, you guessed curveball, and it is a curveball, that still doesn't mean you should swing at it.
No, no, and sometimes it's tough to lay off. Those pitches are tough to lay off because, you know, you're thinking about a pitch, you see it, and the pitcher gives it to you, and it's not a good pitch. So, you know, I like to hunt the fastball a little bit and hit those hanging breaking balls.
2-2 to Coco with Sogard at second base. Marisnick playing shallow makes the catch, so it helped the Astros there on Coco Crisp. A's do not score. Sogard is stranded.
live streaming sports service is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Rasmus swinging at the first pitch. Fouls it back. Rasmus, Gaddis, Valbuena here in the top of the fourth inning. 51 pitches for Aaron Brooks. Rasmus hit a fly ball to left field and ended the first inning. Rasmus, one of the off-season free agent signings for the Astros. It was just a one-year deal. A 1-2 the count.
Aaron's doing a nice job. He's mixing his pitches. You know, that changeup isn't as devastating as it was his last outing, but I think the Astro hitters know about it now. But he's mixing in the slider and the curveball, and goes to that changeup. It was a hanging changeup. He got away with one right there, but.
So his third strikeout, uses the changeup there. Let's do a little changeup comparison.
Number 11, Evan Gaddis.
See, the numbers on the right in gold are the major league average for a changeup. And for Brooks, the chase percentage. But look how high that is.
It's almost double. That's pretty impressive.
That's the major league average. So we saw it in his first start. We're seeing it again tonight. A terrific pitch for him. Gaddis takes a strike. Gaddis grounded out to third back in the second inning.
And what makes Brooks' changeup so good is his arm action. It looks like a fastball's coming, and he's also got very good action. I was talking about it earlier in the game. It's you almost, as a hitter, you almost have to treat it as a split finger. It's got that type of down movement, and it's been a while since I've seen a changeup thrown this well before. That miss percentage tells you everything about his changeup.
Two and one to Gaddis. We talk about the slow start by Gaddis. He had 1 RBI in his first 18 games. And now he's got 60. That was a shot foul. He's kind of fun to watch as a hitter. Nice play down the left field line.
Yeah, and it's not always easy switching new teams. You know, we saw Trumbo earlier in the year with Seattle really struggling, and you know he was swinging a pretty good bat early in the year with Arizona, and you know sometimes it just takes a little bit of time getting to know your teammates, getting comfortable, and you know players aren't robots. It's a tough game.
3-2 pitch. Then swinging. Strikeout number 4. Back to back here in the fourth inning.
Yeah, it looks like Aaron went with the slider here.
Now batting.
And he's really commanding that pitch really well. He's putting it exactly where he wants it, staying out of the middle of the plate, and Gaddis not able to put the barrel on it.
So here's Valbuena. He's singled in the second inning. Valbuena came into the ball game hitting just 208, but he's got 20 home runs.
And only 42 RBIs, which is, you know, you'd like to see that number up to about 55, 60, somewhere in that.
So the count 0-2. I shortchanged Aaron Brooks on a strikeout. He has 5 on that. so he's looking for number 6.
And that matched his total from his last outing versus the Indians.
Decent ratio. In on the hands of Valbuena, and count 1 and 2. He's been doing a good job of getting ahead of the hitters.
Well, he's got good location. He's mixing his pitches. He's able to throw that curveball for a strike, the slider for a strike. He's moving the fastball in and out, and he's finishing them off with that changeup. And he's not falling into any patterns.
You know what? He doesn't waste too much time. He's kind of a rock and fire guy.
We love that as defense.
He struck him out. Another changeup, and it was a good one. 6 strikeouts for Aaron Brooks as he strikes out the side in the 4th inning. Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Fan photo tonight is Luis Elvira from Rodeo, California. Lou and Trisha Elvira with Kelsey Hardcastle. Reddick, Butler, and Vogt here in the 4th inning. It's a 1-1 game. The A's run came in the 2nd on Vogt's home run. Astros got their run in the very 1st inning on a sacrifice fly from Jed Lowry. Feldman had 48 pitches so far. Tapped over Feldman's head, but right to the shortstop Correa, who had the shift on. Correa was playing right near second base.
Man, that's frustrating as a hitter too. I mean, they always taught you to take the ball back up the middle, and you know, now you're going to have to change your hitting philosophy a little bit and start hitting ground balls right at the shortstop.
So Butler steps in for his 2nd at bat. He grounded out in the 2nd inning. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it straight back. Looking at the schedule the rest of the way for the Astros. They have 53 games left, and that includes tonight. 25 home games, 28 road games. So more road games than home games, and that could be significant. I'll tell you why in a minute. But after tonight, 9 games left with the Athletics. So the A's are going to have a say in this whole thing. A's have 9 left with the Astros and 6 left with the Angels. A little bit low. Astros and the Angels will play 6 more times. See, there's just a little rain coming down. Pitch right on the outside corner, 2-2. Now, the away games becomes interesting, Eric, because Astros are not a good road team. They're 22-31 on the road. And they have lost 13 out of their last 15 road games. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, that's not good.
So they've really been struggling on the road.
Yeah, and they just came from Texas where they got swept too. So
they will play 4 here. Then they will have Monday off. They will stay in the Bay Area. They will play the Giants Monday or make that Tuesday and Wednesday. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Butler can't believe it. So he's chewing on Chris Guccione a little bit. That's the first strikeout for Scott Feldman.
Yeah, it looked like Scotty wanted to throw the cutter away, and he ends up throwing it on the inside part of the plate. Billy kind of locked up. Scotty missing his location there, but he got away with it. Billy doesn't like the call. Looked like a pretty good pitch, though.
So 2 away here in the 4th inning. First pitch is low. So I guess the point we're making is the Astros may at some point in the final 2 months have to play better on the road.
Have to.
If they're going to hold off the Angels. Feldman grabs it. Flips to first side, retired. So he has a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're on to the 5th inning. It's a 1-1 game.
With the White Cleats t-shirt giveaway presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort on Saturday, August 8th. One of the Oakland franchise's most recognizable and iconic trademarks, the White Cleats were the brainchild of Charlie Finley and have been a staple for more than 4 decades. Get your tickets for this popular giveaway day now at athletics.com or by calling 877-493-BALL.
So 1-1 game, 5th inning. Jason Castro leads things off. Talked about Scott Feldman being from the Bay Area. Of course, Jason Castro is as well. Castro Valley nearby.
Jason Castro is from Castro Valley.
Yes, he is. Can you believe that?
Interesting. You know, him and Conger have been doing a pretty good job.
Yes, they have.
It's a weird platoon too, because Conger's a left-handed hitter. He's a switch hitter. He hits right-handed, but his better side's from the left.
Castro is retired. In between innings, Billy Butler and Chris Guccione having a fairly heated conversation. We were trying to figure out if he got tossed out of the game. I don't think he did.
No, he didn't get tossed. Bob would have went out and had some words with Gooch, but you know, Billy just a little bit frustrated right there. I think he's going to head back up to the video room and find out that it was a strike. Scotty did miss his spot. He wanted to go with the cutter away, and he ended up catching a little bit of the inside part of the plate.
So first pitch to Jake Marisnick is a strike on the outside corner. And a good pitch, 0-2. 10 in a row retired by Aaron Brooks. So quietly mowing through the Astros after giving up a couple hits and a run in the first inning. Close pitch. He's got 6 strikeouts. He has not walked anybody. So 2-2 the count. Big at bat with Marisnick in the second inning. He came up first and third, 1 out, and he struck out looking. That's this one foul, right side. Altuve to follow here in the 5th inning with 1 out. And that one's popped up, skied on the infield. Simeon actually back a couple steps out onto the outfield grass. He's got it. So 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And we're not lying to you folks. It's raining. Not real heavy, but heavy enough that some people are heading back up underneath.
Jose Altuve.
Mostly out there in the center field and outfield.
So the Dogs have brought the rain. Altuve rips one left field, a base hit in front of Coco. Well, no surprise, Altuve goes right after the first pitch, and he gets his first hit of the night.
It looked like a pitch up, and it was away. Talked about earlier that Altuve kind of wanting to pull everything right now, a little bit of a funk, but gets out there, puts the barrel on it, drops it in front of Coco.
Altuve hit number 122 on the year. He's 8th in the league in hits. So here's Carlos Gomez. .28 steals for Jose Altuve, most in the American League.
I believe he led the league last year too, didn't he?
He did 56. So much higher total last year. But he also hit .341 and had 225 hits. So he's having a nice year this year. But last year he had a terrific season. Seemed like he was on base 2-3 times every game. He finished last year with an on-base percentage of .377. This year, it's .339.
Yeah, I think as the year goes on, he's going to find his swing. You're going to see that on-base percentage go up.
Slowly hit. Rory throws. Got it. They may take a look at it. It was very close. There's Gomez standing away from the bag. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's kind of a swinging bunt. I think Carlos was peeking a little bit as he was running down the line. I think if he would have took off right away, he would have beat that out. So nice play by Brett. Gets him by just a step.
So there will be no challenge, and a very nice play by Brett Lawrie. Bottom of the 5th coming up. He's going to lead it off as Lawrie, and then Davis and Simeon. It's a 1-1 game. By PG&E, together building a better California. 1-1 game. It's the bottom of the 5th inning here at the Coliseum. Brett Lawrie to lead it off. So I figure that with a 4-game series and Brett Lawrie, Jed Lowry, I will screw their names up a couple times. Trying hard not to. Lowry. Lawrie grounded out to Lowry in the 2nd inning. That breaking ball, no swing. 2-1 the count. Five in a row retired by Scott Feldman. So both pitchers have settled in. Not close. 3-1. Mike Davis will be next. 2 hits for the A's, 4 hits for the Astros. Strike, 3-2. Looked like it may have been a little bit low, and Laurie's not happy.
Yeah, that was low.
So full count. Foul right side.
Yeah, this was last inning, a swinging bunt by Carlos Gomez. It's tough to play those guys that can hit the ball hard but can run and lay down a bunt. And Brett comes in, bare hands the ball, eye on the ball, get a good grip, throw it towards the inside part of the first baseman, and the ball always leaks back when you're throwing down below the belt.
That one's hit to center and hit a tie. And that baby's gone. And the A's lead 2-1.
That one in the window, by the way.
Look out in the sweeps. Wow.
I mean, I've seen balls hit the window, but most of them have been during the day, not at nighttime. That was impressive. Well, next at bat, he needs to thank Gooch for calling that 3-1 pitch a strike.
David.
So a very long home run for Laurie, his 10th of the year, give him 45 RBIs and give the A's a 2-1 lead. Davis takes a curveball low. Davis lined out in his first at bat. That was in the second inning.
Wow, that was impressive. Almost kind of the same direction that Stephen Vogt hit his ball. The ball does seem like it's traveling a little bit today, but man, both of those guys put really good swings on the ball.
So 2-0 on the outside. Mike Davis struggling right now. He's 4 for his last 28. Home one was rattling around up there near that luxury suite. Who got it?
Who's got the souvenir?
Raise your hand if you caught the baseball. And there's a walk. Like Davis has the walk.
Yeah, Brett getting that 3-1 pitch called a strike, probably a ball. It's another low pitch, low fastball. Brett just drops the barrel on it, full extension.
Now batting shortstop, number 10.
Nighttime in the Coliseum, going way back in the window. Yeah, he really let it go on that swing right there. I think he was taking it out on Gooch too, a little frustration.
Well, Simeon steps in, homer and a walk to start the 5th inning here for the A's. So Vogt and Laurie solo home runs tonight. Simeon hit a fly ball to center field in the 3rd inning. And a breaking ball high. So Feldman out of sorts now after the home run. It's 2-0. Something to hit. It's a little sinker that drops in at the strike zone. You impress the manager, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Like I said, the ball travels in the daytime, but not at nighttime. Very rare to see a ball hit the window.
Simeon does not go around, and it's 3-1.
See if Bob decides to put the runner in motion here. He does not.
Off of Feldman. Rolls toward the 3rd base line, and Simeon's got a hit. So 2 on, nobody out.
And Scotty's starting to miss some pitches over the middle of the plate, and the A's are putting good swings on. He's falling behind in the count. In this inning, the A's are not missing his pitches. Right off the shin.
Breakdown for Scott Feldman. Sogard to bunt and pull the bat back in time.
No, we've talked about this too. In this situation, when you want to put down the bunt, you want to make the third baseman field the ball, so I can just walk into third base. You got the first baseman who's charging. You definitely want to put this on the third base part of the field here.
Ready. Sogard squares early. Pulls that back and drives one right center. Gomez on the move, still on the move, and he makes a Willie Mays style catch and fires it back in. Tagging up was Davis, so good base running there by Ike Davis, but a sensational play by Carlos Gomez. His back was facing home plate and he went with a basket catch. Not too shabby.
And the A's almost burned him again. They had the wheel play on. Everybody's moving. Got Carlos playing in. Sogard puts a good swing in the gap, but the ball just hung up there long enough for Carlos to run it down. And we talked about how these outfielders can go get it, but great base running by Ike. And as your job, with nobody out on second base, your job's to get to third. So he easily could have gotten off too far and not made it to third, but it's a great job by Ike getting the third.
I don't think that ball went in his glove. I think he caught it with his kind of his chest and his glove. Little pop up. Marisnik won't get it. Let's watch.
Yeah, he went a long way for this
his
ball.
Glove or his chest. See, he pinned it against his chest.
Great play.
That was a great play. The A's with a chance to pick up another run here. Laurie led off the inning with a home run. First and third, one out. Foul back. They're telling us that the Laurie home run was 452 feet, and I believe it.
I think they shortchanged him a little bit.
Off of that sweet. Billy Burns trying to fight back from an 0-2 count and a curveball flipped foul. It's past the A's dugout.
If Billy hits this ball in the down the corner to the right field, I mean, he's going to run forever. He'll be able to walk home.
Another 0-2 pitch. Broken bat. Dribble foul. The broken piece of the bat went quite a bit further than the ball did. The bat was fair. The ball was foul.
And that looked like it just missed Scotty on the way back, too. That's scary stuff right there. Comes with the cutter in off his hands. Billy with the 911 hack. Oh, God. Right by Scotty. I don't even think he looked at it. He didn't even see it.
So count remains 0-2. Rolled foul down the third baseline. Fix that one up. Put a nail in it. Hold it together for a while.
Firewood.
Let the kids play. outside, 1-2. Lots of pitches this inning, 25 so far, and there's still only 1 out, so he's now up to 82. Gomez coming in. Davis tagging, and I think Davis bluffs, but the throw is well offline. Castro grabs it. So that's the 2nd out.
Now Billy reaching out, protecting the plate, kind of slaps it into center. Gomez has got a plus arm in center field, so that's a tough ball to tag up on. I mean, you see the wild throw. You're definitely not anticipating that.
So now it's up to Coco Crisp to try to get this run in from 3rd.
I mean, it's easy to hot and hooler after the fact, after you see the ball thrown off line. So I don't think that was deep enough for them to even consider it.
So here's Coco. And Coco takes a first pitch strike. Coco has hit a fly ball to right field. He has hit a fly ball to left field. Yeah, it's always easy to yell, why didn't you send him? When you know where the ball ends up. That's easy stuff there. My guess is that if you told Mike Gallego the throw is going to be 20 feet up the first base line,
he'd send him.
He would probably have sent him.
He would send him. Did you get a Mike Gallego bobblehead?
I did. Yeah.
Maybe I can steal one from Booth.
1-1 to Coco. Davis at 3rd, Semien at 1st. A little bit outside, close pitch. Feldman really working hard this inning. These are the kind of innings that take it out of you as a pitcher. Homer walk, single, fly ball to center, another fly ball to center. Strike, 2-2. Since coming back, Coco is 3 for 10. So 30 pitches now for Feldman in this inning alone.
Yeah, and you can see the Astros pen starting to move around a little bit. They're going to be a factor in this game.
Go. It's jammed a little bit. Bounces one foul. It's pretty good Astros bullpen. Their starting pitcher, 88 pitches in the 5th inning. They will be used tonight, and it'll be more than a couple of them probably. Big curve. Coco with a good take. Full count. That'll get Semien moving from 1st.
Good take by Coco right here. Scotty going to a lot of backdoor curveballs, and Coco able to lay off of it.
You think he'll throw a breaking ball. Ready. Semien will be off on the pitch. Coco goes around, and that will do it for the Athletics. They get a home run from Laurie, and it was a long one, folks. Well over 450 feet. Check out where it lands. Easily 2-5. Couple of solo home runs by the Athletics, Vogt and Laurie. Aaron Brooks will be pitching with a lead. He'll be doing that for the first time tonight as he faces Correa, Lowry, and Rasmus. 6th inning. Two 2-0 to Correa.
I think with, you know, obviously the A's always kind of trade away some big name pieces, but always the pieces they get back, there's always something in there that is ready to pitch at this level and perform at this level. And I think you got to tip your hat to the scouting department. They go out and see these players. They see something in them. You know, maybe not lighten up the world with the numbers, the ERA, the strikeouts, but, you know, with the command, the composure on the mound, his ability to throw different pitches for strikes. And as I say that, he has a walk.
And that was very easily could have been the strike. Here's our forward right choice. A little bit more on Carlos Correa. Look at the age. Just 20 years old. Puerto Rico. First overall pick in 2012. Third best prospect in baseball. That's where they ranked him. And then after the minors, he is in the big leagues. Got here on June 8th. It was a big deal when the Astros called him up. You knew it was just a matter of time. But I tell you, he does not look like he's 20 years old.
No, he carries himself very well. Very well. And he's, you know, as good as he is on the field, what we keep hearing is he is a phenomenal human being off the field. And you just love hearing stuff like that. I mean, you got guys like Mike Trout, the way they go about their business, professional, confident but not cocky, respectful of the game and their teammates.
And I think that the names you're throwing out there, kind of the next generation of star players in baseball, you hope that that group is all good, classy people.
Absolutely.
Not that the ones now aren't, or the ones before them weren't. There is a group of young stars, and you hear a lot of good things about them. Correa is one of them. Well, Jed Lowry is in full disagreement with Chris Guccione, so they're going to have a little stare off.
Gooch is not the favorite tonight, is he?
No, he's not.
He's shaking his head right now too, going, come on, man, somebody cut me a break. He's probably hearing it from both sides of the dugouts too.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. 0-2 to Lowry. Golfs this one toward right. Reddick is there. So Lowry looking around. He wants to throw one more shot at Guccione.
Now batting, number 28, Colby.
He's still chewing on him.
I'm looking forward to Billy's at bat to see what happens between that exchange.
So here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus, a fly ball to left and a strikeout.
It's easy for us to sit up here and laugh about a strike or a call and a borderline call. But when you're in the box, I mean, one pitch really, it makes a huge difference, and it can be pretty frustrating as a hitter, as it can be for the pitcher. But you just gotta understand, it's just the way the game's, it's part of the game. They're going to miss some calls, and you're going to be unhappy, but you've got 3 of them.
To Rasmus. Carlos Correa gets as big of a lead as any runner I've seen this year. He has not taken off yet, but his lead is it's to that cutout of the grass. If you get past that, you're in good shape. He is well out there. 1-1 the count.
And Aaron looks really quick to the mound. He's got a slide step and doesn't give Correa much of an opportunity to take off. But I want to see him run. I want to see what it looks like. See one of his 5 tools that he's got.
8 steals.
Definitely see him 30-30 in the near future.
Swing and a miss. Off speed pitch 1-2. Rasmus does not look comfortable on that pitch.
Aaron goes back to that changeup and then got that split action. Just a devastating pitch. And then as a hitter, you know it's coming. You still can't hit it. That's when you know you got a good pitch.
So 1-2. Gaddis to follow.
I think if you're the Astros too, you almost have to, if you could pick it up, if you can, lay off that pitch, because most of the time it's diving out of the zone. So, he's not throwing it early in the count. He's not going to throw it and throw it for a strike. It's his out pitch, and it starts in the zone, finishes out of the zone. So if you can pick it up and lay off of it, I think you'd have a better chance.
And Correa is going to be picked off. And the throw goes through, and then Brooks to second, and they get him. It wasn't pretty, folks. It's not the way they would do it at a clinic, but somehow the A's got the out.
I have never seen that before. That was amazing. Kind of leaning. You could tell he's getting that big league that you were talking about. He wanted to go, and the errant throw there by Simeon, and great job by Aaron to back it up.
Yeah, give Brooks the credit there.
Everybody's got a spot that's supposed to be in, and he missed his target by a long ways, but worked out.
It did indeed. So that's the second out, and get a speedy runner off the bases. That changeup again. You just keep throwing it to you.
Yeah, why not?
Colby Rasmus. That's the best contact he's made on that pitch, and he just barely got a piece of it. Broken bat fly ball toward Reddick, who backs up, still backing up in front of the wall. He's got it side retired. So nothing for the Astros. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. A's with the 2-1 lead.
First rewind, Stephen Vogt gets a cutter, ends that homerless streak, and Brett getting a 3-2 sinker and puts it up there in the windows at nighttime in Oakland. And Bob Melvin, all he could say is wow. And you got Gomez running down Sogar's ball deep in the gap, was playing way in, makes a circus catch, stays with it. Feldman loving it. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So Aaron Brooks takes a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. Jays wouldn't mind a few more off Feldman. First pitch strike to Reddick. Reddick, a fly ball to left and a ground out to short. The ground out to short was with the shift out. Feldman grabs it, and that's the first down. Just 3 other games in the American League today. They were all, a couple of them were day games. The Tigers beat the Royals 8-6. They got a walk-off home run from Ian Kinsler. So Kinsler, a little bit quiet the first half of the season. He's picked it up lately. Victor Martinez had a couple of home runs and 5 RBIs. So the Tigers beat the first place Royals. Here's Butler, who takes down and away. Blue Jays win again. They beat the Twins 9-3. You may want to get out of the Blue Jays way right now.
Ooh. You don't want to be going into Toronto pitching against those guys.
They've won 5 in a row. And they have to be busting with confidence, the Blue Jays. Encarnacion, a home run, is 21st today. He had 4 RBIs. So the Jays have won 5 in a row and 8 out of 9. And they are 4.5 back of the Yankees in the East. Jays holding on to that second wild card.
Still a lot of games they got with the Yankees too. That division's going to go down to the wire.
13 left between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Yankees beat the Red Sox 2-1. Ellsbury with a go-ahead home run in the 7th inning. And the Yankees continue to play good baseball. They've won 12 out of 17. They are 61-46. And they have the 2nd best record in the American League. So they win. Blue Jays win. And again, that lead remains 4.5 in the East. So Butler gets the walk.
It's a good take by Billy. 3-1. You're getting geared up. Looking for a pitch to drive. He easily could have came out of his shoes right there and swung at a ball, but very patient. Takes a walk.
And Shabby, speaking of that, there's some action now. Qualls starts to get up. The Blue Jays and the Yankees will play this weekend. So they will have a 3-game series. And it'll be at Yankee Stadium. So that'll be a fun series to watch over the weekend. A's will see those Blue Jays firsthand Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Toronto. Stephen Vogt, a homer and a ground out. His homer was in the 2nd inning. Way outside, 1-1. These are the only other 3 games in the American League today. Vogt checks his swing, and it's 2-1. Angels are off today. They will host the Orioles this weekend. And the Rangers also off today. They will host the Mariners. First pitch, 3-1. Rangers are playing good baseball. They have won 7 out of 8. They are in the wild card race.
They're only 5 out in the division too, I believe.
That's a good call. You're right.
I think a lot of people are wondering why they would trade for Cole Hamels, but I don't know. They knew something.
You're in it. You're in it, and you have them 3 more years. That's pretty good. A couple pretty good reasons. But the Rangers have really been playing extremely well lately. Yeah,
and Feldman going with a lot of curveballs now. 3-1 curveball. You don't see that too often. Steven obviously not looking for that pitch. See what he does. 3-2. He's got to go back to it. I mean, he doesn't want to throw the cutter.
That's line to left. Marisnik is there, and he's got it for the second out.
That was a cutter too. He kind of missed right over the plate. Steve put a good swing on it. Just hit it right at the left fielder.
So Vogt 1 for 3. And with 2 outs, Laurie will hit. Pitches per start for Scott Feldman. Some of the numbers. He averages 97 per game. He's gone as high as 112, and he's over 100 tonight. So this should be the last inning for Scott Feldman if he can get through it. Blocked nicely by Castro. Laurie's home run came in the 5th inning.
I don't know about you, but I really enjoy watching Brett play baseball.
Yeah,
I mean, his eyes they're so hyper focused and intense. You kind of wonder what's going through his mind, but he's got one speed. It's fast. It's quick.
A lot of talent there.
A lot of range at third. He's got some power, as we saw his last at bat.
And really this year staying healthy. And that's been huge because that has not always been the case.
Yeah,
last year he played in 70 games.
And we talked about him getting off the turf in Toronto. That, you know, if you're an injury-prone guy, that's not the place to be. So getting on the grass was a good thing for him.
103rd game of the year tonight. Now that back acts up on him just a little bit occasionally. He may need to take a day, but not much.
Yeah, and backs never go away. They're with you forever, the rest of your life. I can attest to that. Just got to be able to manage it, do your program, take care of yourself.
Takes the 3-0 pitch. He'll be ready to take a rip on 3-1 if it's in the area.
Looks like the cutter.
And it's hit hard off the glove of a diving Correa, and it's a base hit. 2 on, 2 out, and the hitter will be Davis. Pitching coach, so Brent Strum.
Scott went with the cutter. It was a good pitch, good location, down in the zone, but Brett obviously seeing the ball really good out of his hand, putting 2 really good swings on him his last 2 at bats.
So 108 pitches. Qualls is ready. In fact, he's not even throwing. He's just standing on the mound. So now the home plate umpire is going to come out, and the meeting is over. So Ike Davis, the hitter, and an important at-bat in this game.
Yeah, this is more than likely his last batter. That's what the pitching coach went out there to tell him. He pitched a good ball game. Go get this out. We got Qualls ready for Simeon if anything happens. But go ahead and let it loose this at bat.
Davis, a line out and a walk. Shift is on. First pitch is foul to the screen. Davis was 3 for 10 in that series over the weekend against the Orioles. A couple of doubles.
And the A's really want to see him find his home run stroke. He's got it in there.
Just went foul back. And just 3 home runs for Davis and 19 RBIs, and this is his 67th game. Right here, he'll take a base hit. And in the count, 0-2 to Feldman. Davis checks his swing. Curveball.
Yeah, Scott goes with that curveball down, 0-2. Ike just laying off of it.
Well, Feldman about to match his season high in pitches in a game. Lays off that breaking ball. So 2-2. Remember, Butler, the runner at second, not very much speed.
Goes back to that curveball again, and Ike. Ooh,
that was close.
Yeah, that was close. He could have gone either way with that one. Ike getting the call right there.
So good arms all around in the outfield for Houston. 2-2 pitch, got him swinging. So Feldman gets a big strikeout, his third, and the A's strand a pair. So 7th inning coming up from the Coliseum. A's 2, Astros 1.
Striped Sox Backpack, presented by Chevron Techron Advantage Credit Card. On Monday, September 7th, 15,000 fans will receive a stylish backpack modeled after the preferred footwear of Sonny and Sogar. Get your Labor Day tickets now at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 877-493-BALL.
Yeah, that's an older backpack. We're looking forward to the Sonny Gray striped sock backpack. Aaron Brooks has a 2-1 lead. It's the 7th inning. He's sitting at 90 pitches. The bullpen is starting to move around a little bit. And the first pitch to Evan Gattis was right over the helmet with a breaking ball. don't want to do as the hitter is have it hit your bat.
No.
Then you'd be really hacked off.
Bring the barrel down with your head. Get it down.
Change up. 1-1. Fernando Rodriguez starts to throw. Valbuena to follow, and then Castro. So a right-handed hitter, and then a couple of left-handed hitters here in the 7th. A little bit outside with a fastball. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Brooks. As Abad joins Rodriguez. There's 4 hits allowed by Brooks. 2 of them came in the first inning. Good pitch there, and it should have been called a strike, but it wasn't. It's 3-1, and Brooks goes for a little walk. I think that was a strike.
I do too. Brooks has been a little bit inconsistent. We've seen him call that pitch a strike plenty of times tonight.
That one is a strike, and now it's 3-2.
Really impressed with Aaron, the way he's bounced back again. Second quality start, mixing all his pitches.
3-2 changeup popped up. Laurie hustling down the line, foul territory, grabs it. 1 away.
Now batting, number 18.
Brett going a long way for this ball, calling it right away. He knew he was going to catch it right when it went up. Steven says, go ahead, you take it, you take it.
So 1 away. Here's Valbuena, a single and a strikeout for Valbuena, who's playing first base tonight. Most of the year he was playing third base. Lowry was the shortstop until he got hurt. Valbuena was at third, but then Carlos Correa came on the scene. Lowry moves to third, and Valbuena goes across the diamond. Change up, and he just keeps throwing it. And quite frankly, the Astros have not had a lot of good swings at it.
Yeah, and I was wrong. He did throw an 0-0 changeup for a strike, and he comes right back with it again. This one starts in the zone, ends up out of it.
And again, he throws it, and it's rolled foul.
Yeah, and that's when you know you're feeling a pitch. I mean, if you go to it 3 times in a row, you start him off 0-0, you back it up, and then you back it up again. He's got a good feel for it. Let's see if he mixes up a fastball high up in the zone, try to change his eye level a little bit, and then go back to that changeup.
There's your high fastball.
He does. Yeah, I mean, he went with the high fastball, but it was up and away. I'd like to have seen it a little closer to his body, make him think about the inside part of the plate. Like, to me, that's a more competitive pitch, where you're actually making him move his feet back up off the plate a little bit, and you're showing him, hey, I'm going to come in there. But obviously the idea is to go back to that changeup.
It was, and it kind of didn't have quite as much downward movement. It moved away of Valbuena, and he fouled it back.
And he did. He went to the changeup, and that one had some late fading action, just enough to miss the barrel.
So now a full count. It's Castro in the on-deck circle. In Brooks' start on Saturday, when he pitched into the 8th inning, he threw 94 pitches. 3-2 is hit high in the air. Reddick on the warning track. He's got plenty of room, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, he almost went to the well too many times right there. He got a 3-2 changeup left up to Valbuena. He put a good swing on it. He's pretty fortunate enough to get that ball back.
Now batting, number 15.
So here's Castro with 2 outs. 1 walk, 11 strikeouts in his 2 starts with the A's this year. 7 1/3 on Saturday. 6 2/3 so far tonight. Castro late on a fastball, and it's 0-1, so he jumps ahead.
You know, and more than likely, Aaron had pretty good splits too in the minor leagues with strikeouts to base on balls, and he's, you know, his first 2 outings, he's done a really good job of that, and it's something you really like to see from a young pitcher.
There's his last 2 seasons in the minor leagues. Very good numbers for AAA.
That's a pitcher's park too.
See, I always thought Castro, and watching him over the last 3-4 years, he's the kind of guy that you may want to be careful with the changeup, because it looks like you can get the fastball by him. And he went with a fastball at 93 miles an hour, and he strikes out Castro. And that is 7 strikeouts for Aaron Brooks as he walks off the mound with a 2-1 lead. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. A's 2, Astros 1.
Is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
So another great performance from Aaron Brooks. He has a 2-1 lead, 7 very strong innings as the A's come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th. They'll do it against a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. The veteran Chad Qualls comes in, his 39th appearance. 2nd stint with the Astros. He started his career, first 4 years in the big leagues was with the Astros, and then back with them in his 2nd year, as he pitched in 58 games last year.
Yeah, and he's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's got a sinker and a slider. You got to make the ball get up.
Bounce to Lowry, flips it across, and that's out number 1. Simeon is retired, so Marcus is 1 for 3. And Sogard will hit.
Now batting, second baseman, number 28, Eric Sogard.
Tomorrow night, we have a marquee pitching matchup, and there's always 1 or 2 marquee matchups around Major League Baseball every night. And we may have numero uno tomorrow night. Sonny Gray and Dallas Keuchel. A couple of guys that are in the Cy Young conversation. Sonny Gray 11-4, Dallas Keuchel 13-5. So that should be a lot of fun tomorrow night.
It's definitely a must-see matchup right there.
Two of the American League's best. Sonny Gray with the second best ERA in the American League. Dallas Keuchel with the third. Scott Kazmir has the best ERA in the American League.
Yeah, two different very styles. You got a finesse pitcher, a changeup, location, and you got Sonny with the overpowering stuff. So same results, two different ways to go about it.
Brisnick right near home plate in the bullpen makes the catch. 2 outs. So that should be fun. Keuchel and Gray. Scott Kazmir, who has made 3 starts for the Astros. His last start was yesterday, so he will not pitch in this series. Kazmir will pitch against the Giants next week in San Francisco.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of those cases too, you want to kind of come back and beat your old team, but you know, in that situation, Scotty had a good year and a half, 2 years here in Oakland and pitched really well. There's no hard feelings. It's a business, and Astros got a good one. They're making a playoff push. They see the window that they have. They want to take advantage of it. They want to add a frontline starter, and Scotty was that guy.
Kazmir's made 3 starts with the Astros. He's 1-1, but he's allowed just 1 earned run in 20 innings so far. So he's pitched extremely well. He took the loss yesterday against the Rangers, but gave up 4 runs, but only 1 was earned. So no Scott Kazmir this weekend against the Athletics. 1-1 the count to Burns, who bunts it, and Castro grabs it, but it's called foul immediately by home plate umpire Chris Guccione.
Good call last inning, by the way, with a fastball past Castro. Billy trying to use that speed, get the bunt down. That was pretty close to being fair right there. Castro jumping on it, strong arm.
Yeah, that wasn't like way foul.
No, it was pretty close.
That's where the ball is, right? So 1-2 to Burns. A couple of fly balls to left and a fly ball to center for Burns. Behind third, Correa is going to track it down. Nice play by the young shortstop, and Chad Qualls comes out of the bullpen to have a 3-up, 3-down inning. So 8th inning coming up. It'll be Marisnick, Altuve, and Gomez.
Presented by Chevron on Saturday, August 22nd. All are encouraged to wear your Star Wars costumes and enjoy the post-game show from the outfield grass. The limited space is limited. Purchase a special ticket package to receive an R2-D2 beanie. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars for more information.
He's a little early, but he pulled the sweatshirt out. 2-1, top of the 8th inning, and it's going to be the bullpen's job to hold on. Fernando Rodriguez comes in. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. So Rodriguez, 2-1 with a 3.71 ERA, and he's going to face a pinch hitter, Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez is hitting for Marisnik. Altuve to follow, and then Carlos Gomez. So this is the big inning. If anybody were to get on, Carlos Correa would hit. Gonzalez fouls the first pitch back. 7 innings, 4 hits, a run, a walk, and 7 strikeouts for Aaron Brooks. So back-to-back terrific outings for the young right-hander.
Yeah, and that's what the A's need to do for the next 2 months is check out their inventory, get some young players up here, see what they can do. Start trying to think about building your team for next year.
Pitch, big curve, and it's 0-2. So that would mean Brooks would pitch or make his next start in Toronto. So that'd be a good challenge for him.
Get that changeup working again, Brooksy.
0-2 to Marwin Gonzalez, hitting for Marisnik. The Astros coming off being swept in Texas, so they have lost 3 in a row in Arlington. And as I mentioned earlier to Eric, when the rain starts to come down, Astros have lost 13 of their last 15 road games, which is very surprising.
Yeah, if they're going to win the division, that has to change.
Well, it's got to get a little better, you would think.
Has to get a lot better. Good teams win on the road, or capable of winning on the road.
Obviously, that would mean their home record is really good, and it is. They are 38-18 at home. So that's, as I'm looking, that looks to be, that's the best home record in the American League. A little bored? Actually, it's been a while since it's rained here, so I can understand the excitement. Swing and a miss on a high heater. Gonzalez chased it, 1 out.
It's a good heater by Rodriguez. Ahead in the count. Gets Marwin to expand the zone a little bit with a good hard fastball. It's not easy coming off the bench at 95.
So now Altuve steps up, 1 for 3. He's singled in the 5th. He's also grounded out, and he has struck out. And there's a shot base hit up the middle. So Altuve gets his second hit, swings at the first pitch. No surprise there. So now the action starts with the speedy Altuve, the runner at first.
Yeah, I think he sees the ball really well here in Oakland because he puts some good swings on balls. And he hasn't been swinging that hot of a bat. He comes in here. That's 2 pretty good swings on balls.
Yeah, Altuve, if he is struggling, then he's going to want to come to the Coliseum because he is tough on the A's. So Carlos Gomez is the hitter. Bunt single in the 1st and scored. Struck out in the 3rd and grounded out in the 5th. Rory made a very nice charging play. Outfield is deep, shaded toward right center. Trying to cut a ball off in the gap. Altuve with the great speed.
There's that same pitch that pretty much gone either way. Flip a coin with it. You don't know as a hitter. You just want some consistency back there.
Could have been a strike.
Could have been.
Altuve not running. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Gomez is very aggressive at the plate.
Comes back with a fastball up out of the zone, and Gomez coming out of his shoes. Normally when he swings and misses, that helmet kind of comes off his head a little bit. Promise you we'll see that in the next couple games.
He's only walked 24 times this year, so he is ready to hack when he gets up there.
Oh yeah, he is not up there to walk, that's for sure. I mean, it's kind of the only thing too when you got a hitter hits the top of the lineup and he's led off a bunch of times in his career, and he's not really a selective hitter. He's a very aggressive hitter, but he's had success doing it, so it's hard to kind of get him off that.
And he chased a high fastball again. 1-2.
I mean, you might as well throw it again. Same spot. He misses it by a good foot. He can really throw any pitch he wants right here. Just not a strike.
Altuve inches off.
You want to go with something up out of the zone hard, or down soft out of the zone, maybe a curveball down. He's in swing mode right now. The last thing you want to do is give him a strike.
With a good lead, and he runs. Pitches high, throw to second base is a little bit high, and safe is Altuve. So a big stolen base. The count is 2-2.
Good try by Marcus right there. It was a good pitch to throw. Fastball up again. Marcus does a good job, athletic job of reaching up and trying to swipe the tag at the last second. Made it a lot closer than it could have been. Almost got him on top of the helmet right there. Kind of had the feeling that Altuve wanted to go over there at first. He kind of had the itch to go.
So the count is 2-2. Carlos Correa, the on-deck hitter. Fastball this time. Gomez got a piece of it. So he will chase upstairs. 382 with runners in scoring position.
That's pretty impressive for a guy who's overly aggressive.
And a miss. He threw it past him at 95 miles an hour. These pitchers now with 9 strikeouts tonight.
Yeah, just overpowered him with fastballs up in the zone.
Now batting, number 1, Carlos.
You could see he tried to shorten down his swing just a little bit, but too much gas gets it right by him.
Yeah, you can tell that was by him. Slow motion. So here's Carlos Correa. The tying run is at second base with 2 outs. First pitch is low. Correa has singled, hit a fly ball to left, and walked. So he's 1 for 2. Has 2 hits in his last 14 at bats. Vogt digs it out. Nice play, and the count is 2-0. Jed Lowry is your on-deck hitter.
Yeah, nice pick here by Steven. That's a tough ball that easily could have gone to the backstop, and Altuve could have advanced.
There's Tony Sipp. He's the only left-hander the Astros have in their bullpen. Outfield now creeps in a little bit with no need to play doubles defense now. They're shifted toward right center for Carlos Correa. Two pitches hit high and deep to left field. This is not good. Astros lead 3-2. A huge home run for Carlos Correa.
And you cannot say enough about what this young man is doing. He's in the show. He's 20 years old. He's on a first place team, hitting third in the lineup, playing a prime position shortstop. And he's hitting 2-run homers in the 8th inning to give his team a lead. I mean, what a special player this is. It's fun to watch.
His 14th home run in his 51st game played. So it was a fastball right down the middle.
You know, it's such a powerful swing, but he doesn't overswing. He stays within himself. And
so Fernando Abad is coming in. The frustrated Rodriguez says he leaves. So Abad coming in.
Of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Fernando Rodriguez gives up the 2-out, 2-run homer to Carlos Correa. Snaps a stretch without allowing a home run. Got to 47 in the 3rd innings, but he gives up a big one here. So Abad comes in to face Lowry. I think he's got a chance to be pretty good, don't you?
I don't even know what to say. I'm so impressed.
He does not look 20 years old, that's for sure.
He should be an A-ball somewhere. Good night.
Going through the struggles of the minor league.
On a bus, 13-hour bus trip.
So Abad 0-2, 3.13 ERA. First pitch to Jed Lowry is a changeup that time. Make it second pitch. It's 2-0. Lowry a sac fly in the first, a fly ball in the third, another fly ball in the sixth. So he's 0 for 2.
I mean, if he keeps going like this on the pace that he's on, he's going to throw himself right in the MVP race. Rookie of the Year, MVP, Fred Lynn.
That's right. Plus, he's playing on a first-place team.
Pretty impressive.
A 4-pitch walk. So Abad comes in, throws 4 straight balls. And that'll bring up Colby Rasmus. Tony Sipp,
Number 28.
down in the bullpen. He's been throwing. He's not throwing right now, but he's ready to go. A's will have Crisp, Reddick, and Butler in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Kurt Young's coming out. He'll probably coming out to give Scribner a little time to get loose. Rasmus, of course, a left-handed hitter. After him, it's Gaddis, but there are 2 outs. But if you don't get Rasmus, you got to have somebody ready for Gaddis.
Yeah.
You do not want the Abad Gaddis matchup. That's one that Gaddis likes, the left-handed pitching. And Chris Carter on the bench tonight. 17 home runs sitting on the bench. So Abad will face Colby Rasmus, who is 0 for 3. First pitch down and away.
Yeah, and the bullpen is definitely an issue that the A's are going to have to address.
Yeah, it's been an issue the whole year, and if you lose Doolittle, that hurts. You expect Ryan Cook to have a bounce back year. He ends up getting sent to the minors and then traded. Dan Otero, an off year compared to what he did last year. He's been up and down in the minor leagues to the big leagues. Broken bat, shallow left center. And it's going to fall. And then it's kicked around in the outfield, and they're going to wave Lowry home. The throw to the plate is not made, so a costly mistake in the outfield, and it helps the Astros get another run. It's 4-2. So Lowry ends up coming all the way around to score. He was going to third. It was going to be first and third, but then with the Burns and Chris mix-up, they just kept waving him home.
Yeah, and this is the type of play that the A's and Bob Melvin don't want to see. I think you can live with the 2-run home runs late in the game. You're challenging a hitter, and a good hitter is just swinging a bat really good. But that's the type of stuff right there that you just don't want to see. We got 2 guys right there. Billy kind of cuts Coco off, and when things are going bad, that's just kind of the stuff that happens. And
so we get a pitching change. Abad faces 2 and does not get anybody out. So Scribner coming in. Fridays are back at the Coliseum. We got one for you tomorrow night with these Astros in town. You get a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's fan jersey. There it is right there. You're going to get a cheer card and a $6 food and drink voucher, all for one great price. The best deal in Bay Area baseball is CSN's Authentic Fan Friday. So Scribner comes in. 3 runs have scored here in the top of the 8th inning, and the Astros have grabbed a 4-2 lead. So Scribner to face Gaddis. First pitch is in for a strike. Gaddis is hitless tonight as he faces Scribner. 2-2, 3.83 ERA for the A's right-hander. That last play by Rasmus is a single and then an E8 to allow the run to score. Gaddis had a big swing, pops it up into foul territory. Ike Davis is under its side, retired. Tough inning for the A's as the Astros score 3 times, 2 coming on Carlos Correa's home run. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's now the Astros with a 4-2 lead. Check out our game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-7-0 for the Astros, 2-5-2 for the Athletics. Feldman goes 6. Big home run by Carlos Correa. 2-run shot. Aaron Brooks was very good, but unfortunately he will not get a win tonight. Couple of solo home runs for the A's. Those gentlemen, they're a little bummed out right now because the A's are now trailing 4-2. Lefty Tony Sipp is in. His first pitch to Coco Crisp is in for a strike. Bottom of the 8th. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. 2-4 and a 2.58 ERA for Sipp. Again, the lone lefty in this Astros bullpen. Left-handed hitters hitting .214 against him. Right-handed hitters .200. So those are good numbers. Another rookie, Preston Tucker, comes in the game in left field. Marwin Gonzalez, who pinch hit, stays at first base. Marisnik is out. So Tucker in left, Gonzalez to first. A 1-2 to Coco Crisp. Chad Qualls goes a perfect 7th inning.
Tony's got a real good changeup. That's why the right-handed batters have hit for a lower average than the lefties. He's not your typical left-hander, you know, for being the lone guy down there. He's not really a specialist. He gets both hitters out.
And there it was. Changeup kind of floats in there, and Uncle Chris strikes out.
Yeah, not overpowering stuff. A fastball slider. And finishes Coco off with a good changeup.
22, Josh Reddick.
Tonight's been a pretty good clinic on how to throw changeups, and
yeah,
it's been a tough night for some of the hitters.
Astros bullpen very good this year. ERA of 2.74 as a group. Gregerson and Neshek, the two big names that were added in the offseason. They have done a very good job. A man by the name of Will Harris has pitched great for the Astros. He was not with them last year. So we made bullpen, and it's made quite a bit of difference. Both teams with very, very good pitching. But for the A's, the starters have carried the load, but the bullpen has struggled this year. Reddick bounces it toward third. Lowry throws him out. So Josh Reddick is 0 for 4. 2 away here in the 8th inning. And now Sip will face Butler, unless they want Will Harris.
Designated hitter, number 16, Billy Butler.
Who knows, Eric? You may bring in the right-hander if it's a one-run game. But that extra run, sometimes that changes the strategy a little bit.
Yeah, well, the good thing about it for them, for the Astros, they got options. And they've got really good options. Guys that are throwing the ball really good. So
diving play. Lowry gets up, flips it across, side, retired. Terrific play by Jed Lowry. So defense been good for the Astros tonight. 4-2 Astros as we go to the ninth.
On Tuesday, August 18th, for the Mark McGwire bobblehead giveaway, driven by Chevrolet. Big Mac will be on hand as we honor his A's career. The all-time A's home run leader helped the A's reach 3 straight World Series from 1988 to 1990 and win the title in '89. For tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit athletics.com.
There is Big Mac. Just saw him down at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers will be here for a 2-game series. That'll happen right when the A's get home from their next road trip, which is Toronto and Baltimore. 3 in Toronto, 4 in Baltimore, starting next Tuesday night. Top of the 9th, Preston Tucker. It's his first at bat. Tucker, a lot of playing time for the Astros, not in the lineup tonight. Another young player with good upside. 10 home runs, 28 RBIs.
Yeah, he can hit. He's got power all fields too. Opposite, I saw him play a little bit in the minors this year before he got called up, and he was pretty impressive. He was leading all the minor league baseball in home runs and all types of stuff. So this guy can swing the stick.
17 doubles to go along with his 10 home runs. This is all part of the Astros farm system that everybody's been raving about for the last 2 or 3 years. Tucker belts one to center. That's it well, but in the ballpark. Burns is under it. Sounded good. Burns takes care of it. So 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Well, Know It All with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai. It's coming up tonight at 10:30, and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. All the highlights from this game. We'll hear from the newest Golden State Warrior. His name is Jason Thompson, and the Raiders will discuss their new offensive weapons, especially their wide receivers. Fallon Smith and Dave Feldman will host. Stephen Vogt fan. Oh, 1 to Jason Castro, who's 0 for 3. Castro reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out, and struck out. So for his first hit, 7 hits for the Astros. Gregerson is warming up out in the Astros bullpen. That high fastball, and Castro swings and misses. So Castro 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts.
And another fastball by Scribner. Up in the zone, right by Castro's bat.
So 2 away.
Number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin Gonzalez.
You know, tonight's been kind of a snapshot of the A's season. You know, they've played pretty good competitive baseball, and the bullpen and air kind of comes back to haunt them, and it's really been the story of the year.
And I just don't think at this point the A's are good enough to overcome the mistakes they make defensively.
No.
And that's what has really hurt them all year.
I mean, the offense is good enough to keep you competitive. They're not going to win you tons of games. You know, they'll put up enough runs.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, yeah, they have scored enough runs this year.
They got to play a good, clean style of baseball, and they just have not been able to do that this year. And Astros have. You know, they come in with quals and sip, and they shut the door.
Astros this year have made 55 errors, 3rd fewest in the American League. The A's have made 94. One and 2 to Gonzalez, who struck out as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. Lofted right field line. Reddick hustling in. He's got it. Side retired. 9th inning coming up. A's need to get to work. It'll be Vogt, Laurie, and Davis.
performance. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 7 Ks, 1 base on ball. He had good fastball location. He mixed in his curveball and slider for strikes. And that changeup was really devastating again. It's a real good pitch, and the hitters know it's coming, and they still can't let it fit, and they still can't put the barrel on it.
So A's come to bat in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 4-2. It'll be Vogt, Laurie, and Davis, and they will be trying to score against former teammate Luke Gregerson. So Gregerson 22 for 25 in save opportunities this year. Signed a 3-year contract as a free agent to come to the Astros. $3 years, $18 million.
I think a lot of people scratched their heads when they saw that, but it was a good move. I mean, they really solidified that bullpen. It was a weakness for them, and now it's a strength.
Gregerson and Neshek, veteran guys, pitched in pressure situations really their whole career, and the Astros corrected the bullpen from last year. 3-0.
You ever heard of a one-seam fastball?
No, but I've heard that he holds the ball weird when he throws his fastball.
One seam. Steve Sparks, the radio guy for the Astros, told me that today. I said, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I've never actually seen how he holds it. And a 4-pitch walk. Gregerson thought he had a strike, and everybody's asking Guccione about it.
Getting a fastball down and just absolutely mollywalking it to center off the window, and Bob Melvin very impressed, as was his teammates. He's seeing the ball well tonight. Let's see if he can put another good swing on a ball and try to get the A's back in this game.
He also singled in the 6th, though. Mahika gets up just in case. This pitch to Laurie is a slider. That's a bit outside. For Gregerson yet to throw a strike, although I think he feels like he's thrown a couple.
Yeah, and I think they've missed, really. A 3-0 pitch, it's not automatic, even though the numbers would tell you it's different. But the umpires do call it an automatic strike, but I think it was a ball.
A little strike there, so the count 1-1. Gregerson last year with the A's pitched in 72 games, was 5-5 with a 2.12 ERA, and in typical Gregerson fashion, a workhorse, same as he was his 5 years in San Diego with the Padres. One pitch.
Brett had a good swing.
He did.
Oh, man.
It was a fastball. You think Gregerson, you think slider, but that was a fastball, and Laurie fouled it back.
Yeah, he just missed it. This pitch ran over down the middle part of the plate, and oh, man. God, he's taking good swings tonight. He's seeing the ball really good. He's feeling really comfortable in the box.
Vogt, the runner at first, short lead. That slider and a good take, and now it's 3-2.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to throw that 3-2 slider again. That's his go-to pitch for him, especially against right-hand hitters.
Slowly to third. Go to second, and he throws it into right field, does Lowry, and that will allow Vogt to go to third. So Lowry with the air, and the A's are in business here in the 9th inning. It was not hard hit, but I think Lowry had enough time to make sure of 1 out.
Yeah, he did. He had plenty of time with Steven running down second. And he just threw it away. Just pulled it a little bit. And Altuve just out of his reach. A's catch a break there.
So first error of the night for the Astros. And now the A's will try to capitalize.
Yeah, he was kind of flat-footed when he received that ball. I think he knew he had Steven running. He had some time, and he just yanked it. He just pulled it. And
so here's Ike Davis. Davis, a line out, a walk, and a strikeout.
Yeah, and you can almost bet the house that all these pitches are going to be somewhat down and away, either with the backdoor slider, a changeup, or that one-seam fastball he's been throwing.
Shift is on infield. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, to the right of second base. Way outside, almost to the backstop. Think about Gregerson his whole career. He's been an 8th or 9th inning guy. So he has pitched in a lot of tight ball games in penetrates. So now the count 1-1 as Davis checking to see if that was a strike. And it was away, as you predicted, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, as a pitcher, the last thing you want to do is pitch to Ike's strength, and he's middle end, pull, home run power guy. You know, and definitely want to stay soft away, down and away, trying to get him to pull it, hit it in a ground ball double play.
They just moved Carlos Correa back to the other side of second base. He was on the right side. Still playing pretty much up the middle, but with the fastball moving away to Ike Davis. They decide to shift him over. Count 2-1. It's gone a walk and an E5 to put runners at first and third for the A's. There's a base hit right center field. Vogt will trot in to score. Lowry's going to dig for third, and now it's 4-3, and the tying runs at third with nobody out.
It's a great piece of hitting by Ike right here. Gets a pitch out. Looks like that one-seamer stays over the inside middle part of the plate, and he doesn't miss it. Coming up clutch for the A's right here. First, third, 0, nobody out. We got Lowry at third, Simeon at the plate. He's got to do anything he can to get this ball to the outfield and give Brett a chance to score here. Big hit by Ike.
So Davis gets his 20th RBI of the year, and he's done for the night as Sam Fuld comes in to pinch run. And here's Marcus Simeon, infield in, not all the way, but in some. First pitch, just swing and a miss. Swung over top that sinker. 4-3 game now, and A's with a great opportunity to tie it and maybe win it. Inside to Simeon, and the count is even at 1-1. Simeon a fly ball to center, a single and a ground out. All started with a 4-pitch walk to Stephen Vogt.
And the Astros are going with a modified infield in here. If the ball's hit hard enough, they're going to cut Lowry off at home plate. If it's hit too soft, probably going to try to turn two.
That sinker again running down and in. So 1-2. Sogard will be next. Could be the decoy right there.
Oh, it's tough being on the DL. Got to get creative.
1-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. It was a backup slider, and it caught the inside corner. 1 away.
And he did. He did go to the slider. It did back up, and Marcus thought it was on the inside part of the plate. But it looked like a strike, definitely.
Well, that shows right there. It was a strike. But usually you think in a slider it's going to move away from you. That one really kind of just spun on the inside corner.
Yeah, they call that the best pitch in baseball, the backup slider. And it is because what you said, you're thinking it's going to end up down and away, and it comes back in off your hands. And I think Marcus wants that at bat back. You got to do anything to put the barrel on it and try to get that run home.
So here is Sogard. Sogard takes a bit outside. Not a bad guy to have up. Sogard very tough to strike out. Tonight he's 1 for 3 with a double in the third. Lowry, the third baseman, step onto the grass. Infield at double play depth. Outfield shifted toward left a little bit, and now it's 2-0. Sogard chased the sinker, and it may have been ball 3. Just topped the foul, so the count 2-1.
Yeah, it was a sinker down, and looked like Eric expanded his zone just a little bit. You got to make him get the ball up here. He still wants to turn a double play. It can end the ball game here, so you want to get something up. Get this ball in the outfield grass any way possible.
Outside, and now 3-1. Not close with a fastball. Gregerson, as he always does, for a short walk, rubs up the baseball.
You know, this is kind of the only knock really that I would have about the bullpen, where, you know, Gregerson isn't really a strikeout dominant pitcher with power stuff, so he's a pitch to contact type of guy.
Foul tip there, and now it's 3-2. So will Sam Fold be on the move?
That looked like that one seamer right there just kind of ran away at the last second. Eric just pulling off of it just a bit. That pitch was up though. That was a good pitch to get out to the outfield.
Fold with the lead at first. He runs, and the ball's fouled straight back. Another fastball. So a run in for the A's here in the ninth, trying to tie it up. Sogard steps back into the box. 24 pitches for Gregerson here in the ninth inning. Fold runs again, and the pitch is outside. He walked it. So now a hit could win it for the A's. Sogard with a good at-bat. A couple of walks in the inning by Gregerson, and the bases are loaded with one out. Burns is 0 for 4, so he is due. Gregerson delivers, and the ball's tapped slowly. Altuve has it out at second, throw to first, not in time, and we're tied. Wow. Laurie comes in to score. A.J. Hinch is going to want to check this, I would imagine. Burns with that great speed. So right now it's a fielder's choice, and the tying run comes in to score. And just by that look, it looks like he beat it.
Look at that arm on Correa. My goodness.
Yep, he's safe. We're going to have a tie game, folks.
Yeah, he beat it.
Yep, you can't change that. So Laurie comes in to score.
Billy was moving. My goodness. And Astros almost turned a really good double play. That was not a double play ball. Altuve comes up, fills it. Nice little shovel pass to Correa, and Correa almost finishes off with that strong arm. But only the speed of Billy.
Now, once that ball took that last hop,
yeah,
Altuve had to wait for it just a little bit. At that point, it was going to be very difficult to turn it.
Yeah. Billy just getting down the line. I bet you he got down the line about 3-6 right there. Man, what an arm by Correa. That's the only reason why it was even close. I didn't think there was any chance to even remotely get Burns, and they almost turned it, and Billy just able to sneak in there and beat the throw. Nice little comeback by the A's here.
And Coco's the hitter. So, well, the error by Lowry has really hurt the Astros here in the ninth inning.
Yeah, he's safe.
Yep. Not enough to change it. So we got a tie game, and now the A's can win it with Coco coming up and fold the winning run at third. So Laurie comes in to score on the play. And you think about how this inning started, Eric. A walk and an error.
Yeah, not very typical of the Houston Astros, so see if the A's can take advantage of it.
Coco is 0 for 4. A couple of flyouts and a couple of strikeouts. Burns probably take off here, and he does. It's a strike, and Burns will go to second. His run is not going to mean anything at any point in this inning. His RBI does, though, on the fielder's choice. 0-2 Coco. Sinker low. 1-1.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a tough time controlling that one-seamer because it's running late. He's got good action down and away. But he can't throw for a strike.
Again, and Coco watches it drop low, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, this is why power arms at the back of the bullpen are so important. I mean, you can afford a walk here and there and pitch around in air if you got a guy who, you know, a Chapman or a Kimbrel or, you know, Betanzas. Guys who really get it up there.
Coco, right field. Rasmus back, circling under it at the wall. He's got it. So the A's get 2 and come up just a little bit short from winning it. So we're going to extra innings. It's a 4-4 game. For a moment, and Coco had a walk-off home run. Couldn't have missed it by much.
Just out in front, just a little bit, caught the end of his barrel. Man, he put a good swing on it, though. Gave it a good ride. Rasmus able to get back there to the wall and catch it, and the A's bench thinking they got a walk-off homer, only to be disappointed. But a good comeback. That was a good inning for them, and took advantage of an error, a walk. Put together some pretty good at-bats late there.
So 10th inning, and Edward Mujica comes in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Mujica try to keep it right where it is. He's going to face the top of the order: Altuve, Gomez, and Correa. Marcana comes in now at first base. Ike Davis is out. He was pinch run for by Fold. Line drive, base hit left field. So Altuve, probably the last guy you wanted to have on, leading it off an inning in a tie game. He's got 3 hits tonight.
Yeah, Mujica comes back with a sinker right over the middle of the plate, and you know, as aggressive as Altuve is and out of the zone, there's no need to really challenge him right now. Let him get himself out. There's no need to throw a pitch over the middle of the plate, and hopefully the A's can make some adjustments facing him as the series goes on.
3 straight singles for Altuve. In the 8th inning, he stole a base and scored a run. That was the inning the Astros scored 3 and took a 4-2 lead. Gomez bunts it right back to the screen. So the count 0-1. Well, these two guys put a lot of pressure on the defense, though, aren't they? I mean, both are very, very fast, but both, they're not slap hitters.
No,
I mean, they're both guys who drive it.
Very tough.
But they will bunt. We've seen that tonight. Steal bases. Runner goes. Pitch out. Throw is high, and the tag at second is late, and Altuve has the stolen base. So the A's read it, but Altuve, one of the best base stealers in all of baseball, gets his 30th steal of the year.
Yeah, and he had a really good jump. It was a good pitch for Steven to throw. It just came up a little bit high again. Altuve able to slide in there under the tag, and he kind of slipped. That's what happened. That's why the throw went high. He went to plant his left foot and slipped, and his arm was not able to catch up right there.
Bunted. Mejica looked at third. He'll go to first. So pretty good play by Gomez as Laurie took a step in, and they weren't going to have a chance at Altuve anyways. The fact that it's a tag play makes it a more difficult play.
Yeah, that is a very tough play right there. So you definitely, he's going to give you the out. You got to take the out. Last thing you want is for Mejica to turn around and fire the ball in the left field. So see if he can pitch out of this jam. You got to be real careful with this kid right here. He's obviously locked in.
So a single stolen base sacrifice, and the Astros have the go-ahead run on third with one out for Correa. Infield in. First pitch looked like a pretty good pitch, but it's called the ball.
Very inconsistent with that low pitch today. That looked like a pretty good pitch right there.
Like an automatic strike. A little high, now 2-0. Lowry is the on-deck hitter. He, of course, is a switch hitter. Correa's home run in the 8th inning gave the Astros a 3-2 lead. It was a 2-run shot. So that one a little off the plate, 3-0.
Yeah, he gets a fastball right there up in the zone, and he does not miss it. Just a very special player everybody's seeing right now. And Astros excited.
And a 3-0 pitch, he popped it up. Canna, he's got it. How about that? Can't blame him for swinging at it. It was a 3-0 pitch right down the middle, and he popped it up. That's a break.
Yeah, it looked like this fastball was a little up. Top of the zone. Yeah, that was the same pitch that he hit out for a homer, so it's hard to.
It was.
And his eyes lit up, and he knew he missed it.
So now it's Lowry. Lowry's 0 for 2, a sacrifice fly and a walk. He swings and misses through a fastball at 92 miles an hour. Lowry playing in just his 24th game. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Two straight fastballs at 92 miles an hour, and Lowry swung and missed at both of them. Little movement, though.
Yeah, look like he's pulling off just a little bit right there. Talking about how you want to attack him right here with his 0-2 count. Maybe a slider down in the dirt. Fastball up out of the zone. Stay away from him, though, because he's definitely pulling off the ball just a tad.
Altuve dancing around at third. Very close pitch, been a bit off the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, and he does stay away from him with that running fastball right there off the plate.
So now the count 2-2. That's Colby Rasmus. He would be next. A little bit high, 3-2. Looks like Mahika's getting under it a little bit.
Just a tad. Single ball pitcher, you definitely don't like to see that pitch up out over the plate. You see the down action, down and away.
3-2 pitch is rolled foul. So that's a better sinker there at 92 miles an hour. Good ball game tonight. 4-4 in the 10th inning. Another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. And it's lined left field, and that's going to get down for a hit. Lowry's going to hustle for two as the go-ahead run comes in to score, and a huge hit by Jed Lowry here in the 10th inning. A 2-out RBI double, and the Astros lead 5-4.
Yeah, and that's a professional at bat. He fell down in the count 0-2. Fought back to 3-2. Gets that sinker away. He was pulling off of it early in the count. Made the adjustment, stayed on it, went the other way. That's what he does. Of the one hitter in their lineup that gives them consistent quality at bats, other than Correa, is Lowry. Yep. He gives you a professional at bat, and you know the A's saw it when he was here. He comes up with big hits. That kid can hit in the clutch. The Astros pumped up too.
So a couple of RBIs for Lowry tonight, and that'll bring up Colby Rasmus. But I agree with you. He will put together a good at bat for you from both sides of the plate. So 0-1 the count to Colby Rasmus. Rasmus is 1 for 4. He singled back in the 8th inning. Couple of fly balls and a strikeout to go along with that single. A's will have Reddick, Butler, and Vogt in the bottom of the 10th inning, and hopefully more. High in the air, Burns in center, drifts toward right center. He's under it. He's got it. Side retired run for the Astros on Lowry's 2-out RBI double. So the A's need 1 to tie, 2 to win. 5-4 Astros. This 4-game series. Our coverage will start at 6:30 with A's pregame live. Big matchup. Dallas, Keuchel, and Sonny Gray. That's tomorrow. And then Saturday's a day game. Colin McHugh, a 13-game winner against Jesse Chavez. And then on Sunday, Mike Fears, one of the new guys for the Astros. He will be opposed by Chris Bassett. So that's your pitching matchups for the rest of the series. But first up, Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:30 is when our coverage starts. You'll also get complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So Will Harris comes in. He's having a very nice season for the Astros. Picked up off waivers from the Diamondbacks in the offseason. That's an under-the-radar move right there because he has been very good.
Yeah, he throws a pretty good cutter and a pretty good curveball. 12-6 bite down hard in the zone, and he really has had a good year.
Reddick rolls one through the left side for a base hit. So good start for the A's here in the 10th. Trying to answer right back. Just going the other way, and Reddick's got his first hit.
Yeah, and he's done that about 3 times tonight, and it hasn't paid off for him, but he's able to stay back on that curveball and punch it right at that shortstop. Stay away from the middle of the field.
So 7 hits now for the A's, and here's Billy Butler. First pitch to Butler, bounce right back to Harris, fires to second for 1, back to first, double play. 1-4-3 on the double play. Jose Altuve, who was playing right near the bag at second, just had to move forward about 3 steps, and most important part of that play is the pitcher's throw to second base, and it was a good one.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of them throw that in the center field, and he gives Altuve a good strong throw. Easy double play with Billy running to first. It's a good cutter, down and away. It's a tough pitch for Billy to handle, and Astros able to turn the double play.
So Vogt steps in. Trying to keep this thing going. Vogt a homer, a ground out, a fly out, and a walk. He scored a couple of runs. First pitch is at the knees for a strike. It's been Feldman, Qualls, Sipp, Gregerson, and Harris. Gregerson blew the save in the 9th. Harris trying to get the save here in the 10th. Setting up outside is the catcher Castro, and Harris goes out there, but it's off the plate. 2-1. Vogt and Laurie, couple of home runs tonight. 3 hits between them, but just 3 hits by everybody else in the lineup. Swing and miss. Reddick was, Vogt was trying to tie it. In fact, as I look at my scorecard, the top 4 hitters, Burns, Crisp, Reddick, and Butler, have just 1 hit between them. In the dirt, take by Vogt, blocked by Castro. This is what Vogt did in the 2nd inning. Long home run, deep part of left center field.
Yeah, Scott was really Dylan at this point, and looked like he was getting real comfortable, going to go deep in the ball game, and Steven deposited that cutter straight away center. One of 2 impressive home runs by the A's today.
3-2 pitch, a shot. Altuve, backhand, goes down, gets up, throws to first, and that's the ball game. So a very nice play by Altuve to end this one, and this would be a disappointing loss for the Athletics. They fight back, but when it's all said and done, the first place Houston Astros win game 1 of the series, and the Astros extend their lead in the AL West to 2.5 games over the Angels. It took 3 hours and 37 minutes in front of 16,172. The final score tonight in 10 innings. Jed Lowry's big hit gave the Astros the lead, and that was the final. Astros 5 and the Athletics 4. You've been watching Ace Baseball on CSN California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. Ace Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Connie Lansford starts right now.